enough to each and every one. Of course, this will be a premiere video. For those who are just coming in, it's humbly as we wait for those who are said, this special video will be a premiered video. So I'm just giving thanks to those who would be in the house early. And what I'll be doing, just humbling and waiting for those who will be stepping in. But for those who are here early, let me just, somewhat remind you of our spring equinox 2022 according to the Gregorian calendar, by the way. Of course, you know, this is an annual event that we host right here in the Caribbean, specifically in Antigua. And of course, it's all around the magnificent Green Castle Hill. And for those who know not what I'm speaking of, well, of course, you know, we have a book, Ancient and Modern. I would invite you to visit that book. Where can you get the book? Just visit our website. And this is our website right here, priestisaacinstitute.com. All you have to do is to go to the area marked shop and you scroll down and you will see all the different merchandises that we have, from videos to books to online lectures. And here is the book, Ancient and Modern ebook, and it goes into depths of the mystic of Green Castle Hill. Plus we have several videos on the YouTube family. For those who do not know about Green Castle Hill, just type in Green Castle Hill. Something will come up and you would hear us speak about it. Or again, I would encourage you to visit the website, priestisaacinstitute.com. Of course, you know the link is always in the description of the video. Below the video, you'll find the link going straight to Green Castle Hill, going straight to the website, priestisaacinstitute.com, and that will eventually bring you to Green Castle Hill. So we'll be having a double hike, you know. Remember now, for the last 2 years, we have definitely done this fully virtually. Now we are looking to do it virtually still. We're still going to have the virtual package, but we're looking to invite the family to come to Antigua now. The government is already hinting on lifting the ban that they had They had a ban, and no one that was not vaccinated could come here. So they're looking to lift the ban, they say. So we are looking forward to that. So our family can come in. This is from Friday the 18th. That's the day you will arrive. Sabbath service and everything involved in this. Yes, man. Brand new tabernacle Sabbath service you'll be getting for those who will be coming. And of course, we'll be having the double hike, the evening hike, and the morning hike, the Green Castle Hill. We're going to have the full day yoga retreat. Now we're going to have yoga in the morning and yoga in the afternoon on 2 of the days. But then we're going to have a full yoga retreat. That will be the 24th day of March, the full yoga retreat for the full day. So this is going to be a wonderful session. Of course, the cannabis tour with the live chalice talk for those of you who remembered last year. And remember, that we are doing this specifically virtually as well. So there will be a virtual package for those who will not be able to come, for those who would, like to take the hike, those who like to sit in for the yoga retreat, those who would like to be there for the chalice talk, of course, the cannabis tour, those who definitely would want to be there for the astronomy watch night. There's so many things that will be taking place this year as it relates to Rastafari Experience Antigua and the double hike, the Green Castle Hill. So listen, family, all you got to do is contact us. For those who are really interested, just email us, priestisaacInstitute@gmail.com. And of course, visit the website, priestisaacInstitute.com. Definitely, you could call or WhatsApp us as well as it relates to such business here, and you get more information. And remember that we're talking about the spring equinox from Friday the 18th to Thursday the 24th day of March. All right, give thanks. So family, what we're really doing here this evening, this is all about just celebration. For those who would not know, we are of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress celebrating a brand new year. So I just decided to take a few moments with the family this evening to give thanks for the new beginning and the new cycle. Of course, the Bobo Shanti order is a very different order. And, some would ask, 7th of February. So where did you get that from? And of course, those who follow us would hear us answer these questions from time to time. In fact, tonight, we have a nice one I want to get into as it relates to Rastafari and being a Nazarite. That is something that someone was definitely asking. And so many questions came with that. So I thought that this would be a good time to refer to that one as well. And as I said, being the new year, the 7th of February, I'm not going to go into the science of it being the new year and why, King Emmanuel would have chose that and all of that kind of stuff, because I think the previous live presentation we did here, that was exactly the subject area. I think it was the new year and the year of the tiger. That would be the name of the presentation we did. So if you just go back and check it out, that gives you a good understanding of that level of understanding of the science of the cosmos that the Honorable King Emmanuel has, why we as Bobo Shanti would be celebrating this new year here. Again, ones will ask, so what about March? Some people say the 1st of March is really the real new year. That's interesting because, outside of the Battle of Ottawa celebration, we celebrate the 1st of March. That is the anniversary of the coronation, the anniversary, pardon me, of the finding of the Congress, which is the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, the 1st of March. So the 1st of March, of course, from 1958 is when the first official Nyabingi was held. And that was called by the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the said Bongo Eddie from them times, the said Prince Emmanuel at this hour. And he was the one that called that. Over 3,000 Rastafari, they said, gather. And more people were there, obviously, in attendance. And it was just Nyabingi 21 days. it ended up very brutally, I must say, but for sure that is the event that marked the beginning of this EAVIC Congress. So the 1st of March, you know, for those who are arguing that the 1st of March is the new year, we ain't got no problem with that, at least not this person here, because it is the beginning of a new year in a sense. It is the beginning of a new cycle. It is the beginning of a new life as such, the beginning of the Congress as we know it. One would argue, oh, well, the 11th of September, this is what, you know, Haile Selassie used. And again, for those of us who have the balance and understanding, because this is not a dogmatic thing. The 11th of September in Ethiopia is the feast of John the Baptist. It's special day. And the 11th of September is aligned with the resurrection of Asar. So we ain't got no problem with that at all neither. You see, this is not about right and wrong, and this is about embracing the truth, embracing the cosmos, embracing nature itself. And nature itself doesn't just have one day and this day and one color and all of these things. Nature itself is vast, you understand. Soon they have a religion that tell you the real color is blue, you know. Yeah, because we just get so dogmatic, we overdo. But anyway, give thanks for those who are in the celebration mode. We're not in debating mode. We're not in convincing mode. We're just in celebrating mode. And definitely we give thanks for this new cycle, this new beginning. And I will add again, you know, according to the Oriental scheme of things, remember the Oriental, of course, with their new year. This was the 1st of February, just a few days ago. The new year specifically brought in what is known as the year of the tiger. So, of course, you know, you are in the tiger's nest, and we are thankful for your presence. Also, I want to touch a bit upon the Lenten period. I wouldn't go that deep because, as you know, as I promised, and as we do every year, we have a series of programs directly dealing with the Lenten period, directly dealing with the 40 days and 40 nights fasting of the Bobo Shanti order. And as customary, we definitely intend to have ones with us. We will be sitting with a few ones. As you could see, the Honorable Priest Dougie, he was with us a few days ago, and he actually promised to return and have us sit down and a sup with us on the whole aspect of the Lenten period and his knowledge of it as one who would have supped and sat with the Black Christ. And we intend to have some other ones with us, and as the time draws nearer, you will see who they are. Plus, of course, I myself will be touching upon the Lenten period from my different perspectives. Remember, this is a mystic thing. You have the theology of it. You have the storyline of it. You have the method of fasting of it. There's so many different aspects of it. You have the history of it that, I mean, it's good to balance yourself, and every year you learn more about it. And then, as the Honorable Priest Dougie was saying in that interview we did, you know, you have that whole aspect of the unity of the fasting. That is something that we spoke of in depth previous year, or what they call last year, with the Honorable Priest Kumi. That's why it's good to review the previous programs we did on the Lent. The program with Priest Kumi, you should check that one. Priest Kumi is very, very adamant about wearing the white on the resurrection day. And Priest Kumi was speaking about the unity of the fast. That is something I noticed we don't speak about a lot. You know, you're actually supposed to have a unified fasting, meaning that, you know, the house fasts specifically with a goal in mind, with a destination in mind, with a specific agenda that is on the table for everyone to fulfill. And of course, within your own self, you have to know what goal you want to meet and what you intend to accomplish at the end, because what the fasting does, it brings everything up to the surface. It's a mystic thing. It brings everything up to the surface. So with as it relates to that period, for those who are coming in, because this video will be premiered, so ones will be actually coming in while it is going. Give thanks for those who are coming in and those who would be in the chat and each and every one thereof. Yes, so Again, that is a time where everything comes up. So it's a very sacred time. And I want to take it from like as simple as we can take it. And then with the different visitors and guests that we will have, it may get a bit more complex, but it's going to be a very joyous and jolly time. And we definitely will be utilizing Radio Anu to comfort ones who will be going through this time, who are serious about keeping up this period of fasting and praying. And I must mention the Honorable Priest Dougie again, because in the previous program with us, he was speaking about the whole aspect of the nutrition. I don't know if you could recall that. And of course, that is very important. To be honest, this is the time for I know, because I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing too. But for myself, this is the time like when a bear is preparing for hibernation. This is the time when those who intend to go on this real fast should be seeing themselves, taking in their nutrients and building up themselves as such, and hydrating yourself to the fullest, and feast up, man, feast up, feel good about it as we enter into that mystic time frame, into the amenta, into the underworld as such. It's a deep science, and the science itself is something for us to meditate on and glow in. Let me just add this little piece, because I know a few people are asking these questions here. Now, this is from my knowledge, and they're basically the main fast. Let's put it this way. You see, the main fast is when an individual hold their fast until midday. And after midday, the fast would come to an end. And then it would begin again at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. So it's just about 2 hours for the feasting. 2 hours is a long time, so it's just about 2 hours for the feasting period. And then the fast begins at 2, and it carries the person all the way back to 12 again. And this is usually done in the tabernacle. At least the right way it is supposed to be done would be in the tabernacle. Now, interesting, and I'm hoping to get the Honorable Priest Earl again, because I think there's some unanswered questions from even the previous interview that I had with him. And he clearly, he's an individual who does the fast where when you fast until 6, the sunset. So you fast until sunset. You feast from 6 to about 8, same 2-hour period. And then you go through again and you fast until sunset. Ones would refer to that as a heretical fast. If you were listening to the interview we did with Kes Westmore and all of these programs I'm speaking of, those of you who are really serious about the Lent, all you have to do is revisit some of these programs here, and you'll get a lot of information, you'll get a lot of knowledge, you'll get a lot of vibration as it relates to this moment. So the interview we did with Kes Westmore, we clearly highlighted amongst ourselves that although ones refer to the 12 to 2 fast, because people start to call them by their numbers now, 12 to 2 and 6 to 6 and all these strange numbers, got to be careful, because when you tell people out you're fasting until 6 sunset, people tell you, oh, you're doing 6 to 6. 6 to 6, what are you talking about? No, man. When you fast until the sunset at 6, it's the same 2 hours you're eating until 8. So that's more like 8 to 6. I don't know what the 6 to 6 is, because they have this other fast now where some people wake up early in the morning and drink a cup of tea. And that carry, to me personally, you're broken the fast when you do that. That's in my book. And that carries them somewhere until 12 o'clock. Now, as I said, this is something that is done in the the tabernacle to break this fast. Oh, that's a beautiful loggerhead crying there. And as I said, when the Honorable Priest Earl was with us, he explained that, you know, he fasts until 6, the going down of the sun. And my question to him was, well, why would he fast like that? Because I've done that fast several times. In fact, there's something about that fast that I have to tell you, but I wouldn't say it in this program. I'll tell you in a later program. So I asked him, so what it is, why is it that he does that fast, you know, instead of the fast until midday? And he said, well, he always preferred to fast the way that he see Jah fast, as King Emmanuel. And I was like, what? When you say that's the, you know, you fast, you want to fast the way you see King Emmanuel fast, what exactly you mean? And then of course I went on to ask him about how he broke the fast, if the service would go to 6 and etc. And then if you remember that interview, I think it's Priest Courtney, pardon me, Priest Fliego, I think would have joined the conversation somehow. And that point that I really wanted, I never really got it out. So I always intended to bring the Honorable Priest Earl in again, which we will, and we will be going into that aspect of that going down of the sunset and that full day fast. And of course, going into the evening after a specific hour, beginning the fast again. That is the discussion and the reasoning that I want to bring out and get that clarity from him, you know, even for the audience sake. Because listen, and I will always say this, and I learned this from my own experience. You will always hear when the elders come out and they have to reason concerning the whole aspect of anything to do with King Emmanuel order. You know, you yourself have to evaluate what is being said, because just like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you get the same story, but sometimes it's slightly different. Sometimes it's slightly different, and I'm not going to put to rest the black over white or the full white for the resurrection day neither. I know some don't like when I speak about it. They tend to believe it's controversial. I don't know what can be controversial about the truth. So that is something I'll be bringing up with those who profess the different, you know, specific outlooks as it relates to that. So yes, so you fast, the fasting period, those are the two main fasts, what some people call the cup fast, but as Priest Richie Kess Westmore, that's why I was highlighting that video, said, you know, if it's not broken in the tabernacle, it's not really a cup fast. You may be keeping the cup fast time, you know, and you break your fast and you eat from 12 to 2. That's the cup fast period. But really, that's a heartical fast. When really how I learned it is that the heartical fast was the setting of the sun. When you go through the whole day and obviously part of the night, fasting, same time period, but it's just a more, to me, a more rigorous fast when you go through the whole day. But to me, it is the most blessed of fast, that whole day fast. To me, that is the real, that is the builder. And that's just my opinion, even more than when you seal it at 12. And that is why I want a clean understanding on certain levels from the Honorable Priest Earl as it relates to that. So you can see now, you see how the conversation done gone already. Just dealing with the aspect of how an individual will be fasting. We haven't even gone into how you break the fast and what you eat and what you don't eat, because it's a deep discussion, you know. It is a real reasonment. Again, we have done it before. This program wasn't set for that, so we just navigating our thoughts. That's why I said other things I would tell you another time, because I know this is not for it, because if I go there, I will just continue, and continue. When the time will be set for that very soon. We're not waiting for the Lent to begin, you know. Oh, no, not at all. It's a brand new year. Yeah, in a few days, if that long, in a day or two, I'll be here again, and we will be beginning that conversation, trust me, as it relates to the Lenten period. You know, your honorable brother will be here to do whatever I can do to guide those of you who are entering this realm. Trust me, believe me, because this is what we as young cubs coming in needed and received. So this is being done, a continuation of it on another level. So family, I'm going to leave that conversation with the Lent for the moment. As I said, we are celebrating the new year. Happy new year. And I want to get to that subject area that ones have been asking about, as it relates to the Nazarite vow and Rastafari as us, the people. Now, the question of Rastafari being a Nazarite and the whole aspect of the vow. Now, of course, you would know, yes, I know we would have spoken about this maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but you got to understand there are new people all the time and people want to know. And to be honest, the level of questioning that I would get on this one now, as it relates to the eating of the vine and what the Nazarite vow says. And as you know, I always try my best to address the questions that are asked specifically, especially when ones reach out to you personally. So as it relates to Rastafari, listen to me good. For sure, when I came into this faith, as it relates to the locks, although I would have heard about the whole aspect of the Mau, the Mau tradition, the fighter, the warrior fighters, the warrior class of Kenya, who stood up against the British in the 50s, 60s. So I would have obviously learned about the Mau, especially in my growth and maturity. But for sure, when I came into Rastafari, the main aspect of the locks, the connection with I and the locks, was Numbers chapter 6. I didn't know nothing about no Mau yet. It was Numbers chapter 6. Why we wear locks? Read the book of Numbers chapter 6. And then now it expanded to the other people in the Bible that are seen with locks, who would have been considered Nazarites, as they would have taken their Nazarene vow. Okay, so now check this good, eh? You have Samson. Everyone know, I think he's the most outstanding dreadlock individual in the Bible. I'm talking about Samson. And then you have Samuel, yeah, Samuel, of course. He's another dreadlocks individual in the Bible. That's Samuel. Samson and Samuel, two Sams, son of Sam. All right. Then you have people like Elijah. In the Bible, Elijah was considered to be a hairy man. That's how he was described. Ezekiel, a man like Ezekiel, was said to have been taken up by an angel by his locks and all of them kind of things. So you don't have to ask what's going on there with him. And then now you have the Christ figure, the Moses figure. You have Aaron. Aaron is said his beard went down to the skirts of his garments, the skirts of his robe. Skirt don't mean he was wearing a skirt yet. The skirt means the border of your clothes, really, your garments. Even your pants have skirts, really, in a sense, the skirt, the rim at the bottom of the clothes. So this is the Bible showing you that it wasn't a strange thing for the dreadlock character, and specifically the vow of the Nazarite. I want you to follow me good, eh? All right, I think we all know this. So now as Rastafari, and again, before you go into that Rastafari part, what I was going to say, in the 50s and the 60s. Apparently, from what I learned as in the history, I wasn't born into this realms in the 50s and the 60s. So I have to go from what I learned. And you'd hear the elders say, yes, we saw the Mau Mau. They didn't say they saw the Batawi dreadlocks in Ethiopia. They saw the Mau Mau in Kenya. And that was the inspiration, some say, for the dreadlocks. And again, one's highlight the Nazarite vow. Good. Now let us just deal with the Nazarite vow, the Mau Mau locks within itself. I mean, that's just what it is. Because before we go to either Nazarite or Mau Mau family, I'm sure you could remember that we did a video dealing with the locks about how long ago it was that? That was actually about, I think that was the day before they cut the daughter's locks in Jamaica. Remember, until people were saying it was a prophetic program. But anyway, but we did a whole program on the locks and the importance of locks. And you know that the locks, the dreadlocks, as some call it, from Kemet, from ancient Kemet, ancient Ethiopia, ancient Kush, you have so many hieroglyphs with the locks, you know, Vishnu and Shiva, Buddha, locks, and we're talking about thousands of years ago, even thousands of years BCE, we're dealing with the locks. So that is definitely before Mau Mau. That is definitely before the Nazarite vow. So the natural locks is just the agency of the black man, the black woman, the human being, the original man. That's just the natural thing. We should keep that in mind before we go any further. It's just the natural thing, whether Numbers chapter 6 or even Mau Mau, with all due respect to the Mau Mau at the same time. Now, I'm just showing you that the numbers now, that is what I want to talk about. In the book of Numbers, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it speaks about, everyone knows what it goes into. It speaks about the Nazarite vow. If you don't know, I will explain it. One who chooses to take a vow unto the Lord. And it says that this individual will not cut his hair, and he should make the locks of his hair grow. And then it goes on to speak about a one not eating grapes and strong drinks and wine and anything from the kernel and the husk of the grape or the vine. That also has come up for, if you want to say, a debate now, as it relates to the whole aspect of the vine aspect of it. Because most Rastafari, even those who say they check for the Nazarite vow, they don't necessarily shun vine food, being pumpkin, cucumber, squash, you know, anything like that. They usually would eat it. Some ones would say that, well, it's not necessarily the pumpkin and the cucumber and the squash, but it's grapes or dry grapes, which is raisin. I'm telling you, from my experience, the very few, and when I say few, like 1 and 2, in my whole experience that I've met as Rastafari, that consider themselves Nazarites, and they eat, you know, pumpkin, cucumber, squash, etc., and they don't eat raisins and they don't eat grapes. I've never, there's one person that I remember, a good brethren of mine that passed on. He was the closest to that, but no, man, because I know I know I encountered him eating some bud with some raisin and thinking, no, I ain't saying I upset with him for that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying a thing about my good brother for that. I wouldn't even refer to him in this moment for that. But he was an individual that was very into the Bible. So his outlook was, there was no Bingy neither, he was just Ras. His outlook was, listen, the Nazarite vow must be kept. And he's saying that the vine part wasn't speaking of pumpkin and, what do you call it thing again, cucumber and squash and so. The vine part speaking of raisins and grapes. which is a very good argument. If you read Numbers properly, I think it's a marvelous argument, really. I myself would see that clearly, but it's not something, and I'm not saying this to highlight my brethren in any way. That's why I not even call his name. I'm just saying that from my point of view, I don't see it as a construct in Rastafari. I don't see it as a discipline anywhere that I'm Ras, I'm moving with the Nazarite vow, and I don't eat grapes and I don't eat raisins, period. No way. All right. I'm sure there are those that do that, but it's not something that you see firm. Now, Bobo Shanti, the principles of Bobo Shanti is that they don't eat fine food. Now listen, this is gonna get very mystic, eh? I just wanted to hold in good. The principles of Bobo Shanti is that they don't eat fine food, none at all. No cucumber, no, what the other thing in there? Pumpkin, give me something else there, squash, and them other things there. No, Bobo, no, use that. But King Emmanuel specifically recommend the use of the bitter melon, what's the other name for bitter melon? Corilla, as a medicine for the woman. Corilla run on your fence. Corilla is a vine food, eh? Okay, and it runs on the fence. We call it here in Antigua. I wonder if we should give them the name we call it. Anyway, they call it foul batty. It has a kind of, don't laugh. You have a kind of fruit, a yellow, kind of husk, and inside of it, you have the red stuff inside. And we used to eat that as children. Bitter melon is called, and it's a vine. Now, but as Bobo Shanti, not just I and I with our own vibes, King Emmanuel order, no pumpkin, none of that stuff there. Now, of course, a person is going to be quick to say, so what's wrong with pumpkin and what's wrong? Me personally, I never say nothing wrong with pumpkin. In fact, they say, right, if you have a pumpkin there and the rat come in, the rat eat through the pumpkin, eat off the seed and leave the pumpkin there. Again, that's something wrong with pumpkin, but just trying to show you how nutritious the seed of the pumpkin is. What do you call that stuff there? I just went cucumber. I think cucumber is one of the better, what's that medical term? Diuretic. You know, when you have forgive me with the term, that like bloating and of water, when you have a backup of water, there's a term for it, but it's just not there with me. But anyway, and you have too much water in your system. Water, you retain too much water, that's it. And they give you some of these pills to help you get off water. Things like parsley. Parsley is very good for that too. When you blend and you drink the parsley, it will make you pee a lot, but what it does, it puts back the potassium. A lot of the diuretic pills that they give you, when they pee you out, man, they don't put back no potassium inside of you. So that alone causes another side effect. I know the cucumber is very good. It's very cooling, very cleansing as well. I don't know how much potassium it puts back, but I know it's good for that. So the point I'm making is that these are fruits from the earth. I'm not arguing that something's wrong with them. I'm not saying that they don't have vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, whatever else they are supposed to have, and they're not good for this and that, and good for your eyes and good for your teeth. I would never say that. No, no, no. But what I'm saying is this, and this is not Nazarite vow. This is King Emmanuel order. This is King Emmanuel order I talk, not Nazarite vow. Because let me show you something here. If it's one thing I noticed coming into Rastafari, I always said to myself, listen, if we're supposed to just by ourselves try to figure out the Bible, I mean, the Bible is something else. How you know? It tells you about sacrificing the lamb in the morning, sacrificing the lamb in the evening. It talks about, you know, how you sacrifice and Moses takes the blood and put it on the ear. Some people tell you, well, no, these things are passed away. You don't have to do them anymore because Christ came and he bore the sacrifice. And then Christ still will tell him, but if you love me, you got to keep all my commandments and the laws and statutes of Moses. And, you know, then a person will tell you, you have to keep the Sabbath. A person will tell you, no, you don't have to keep the Sabbath anymore. And one will tell you, well, if you read Leviticus, it tells you what you can eat, because in Leviticus, it tells you can eat certain things. You just got to keep away from shrimp and lobster. But if I'm not mistaken, they can eat bats, they can eat mongoose, you know, depending on some weird thing, cockroaches. So if you're going to follow the Levitical law of eating, you know, and then a person will tell you, but then in the New Testament, all the animals came down on the blanket and God told Peter and them eat anything. And then somebody will tell you, well, listen, this is just symbolic and so on. So, and you see, hold on. Now, nothing wrong with trying to figure things out. We do that all the time. We unravel mysteries. But you see, there are some simple truths that everyone needs to know. And this is why the concept of God is so important. You see, King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, to me, that is the foundation there. So as Rastafari, we praise Emperor Haile Selassie first. Everybody know that, the Lion of Judah. But you see, there's a man in the heavens called the serpent holder. And when you understand how the movements of the astronomical clock works, and you know the movements of the zodiac belt, and you can read the signs as Psalms 19 says. Don't run from it. It's nothing spooky. The heavens declare the glory of God. The firmament shows his handiwork. Day unto day utter it knowledge. Night unto night, how he goes show it language and show it knowledge. And there's no language where the voice is not heard. You know the psalm. So there's something to be said in the heavens. The serpent holder, the one that stands on the scorpion and holds the snake, for Sagittarius the archer to kill, and Hercules the man with the sword to destroy. The serpent holder with the long robe and the turban is King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. The same Shanti Deva, man. Shanti Deva from the Buddhist philosophy, Shanti Deva. Same set of Buddha that got their inspiration under the Bobo tree. Shanti Deva, also known as Maruk Bull, who built the Bayon, Bull Bayon, Bull Bay. He built the Bull Bayon, Maruk Bull Bayon, Shanti Deva, under the Bobo tree, Bobo Shanti, and he got his priesthood from Nagarjuna, the King of Kings. This is all ancient Indian philosophy and story that became true in the fulfillment when Melchizedek, according to the Melchizedek mysteries. I'm speaking again of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. Daniel already showed you when the Ancient of Days did sit. One came with the clouds of heavens unto the Ancient of Days, and he was given a kingdom ever living. You understand? And of course, it's the same thing when the Lamb appeared unto him that sat upon the throne. This is just understanding, you know, family. The point I'm making is that there's a man in the land that no one is to molest, the Honorable Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Melchizedek figure. It is he who brings the order. Now, you see, we like to read the books, and we looking for the evidence, and we're looking for the facts. Well, trust me, in my book, that is why we're so firm with what we speak of and what we teach. Because we're not saying we know more than anybody else. You know, of course, we could never even begin to say that. The more you know is the more you realize there's a lot you don't know. And that is us. But I'm telling you, the main essence of the truth, which is Haile Selassie the First. I don't think nobody, Haile Selassie the First, that is concretized. Nobody can move that. Impossible. It don't matter how much you know. You cannot move Haile Selassie the First. You understand? This is why I always encourage individuals, never give up in Nekos and Nagas. It's, you know, there are different philosophies. Some people tell you he's the Almighty God. Some say he's Christ, the return of Christ and the Son of God. Some people say he's the divine. Some people say he's this and that. But understand, that Haile Selassie, the first, the divine, is the answer to the question. From you got that, man, you're safe. You're safe, whether it's historically, theologically, spiritually, religiously, you're safe with Haile Selassie the first. Better believe it. You understand? The knowledge of Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards, after we scope history, Majesty, after we scope the cosmos, after we scope all the holy books, those of you who have been on the ride with us for so long, after we scope out the Mask of Lord Pakal, after we scope out Tutankhamun and his footstool, we see that the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, Prince Emmanuel, is the individual, the Melchizedek, that brought the order of how a man and a woman is supposed to live to us. We positive of that. Me personally, you can't move me from that. I positive of that. So when King Emmanuel say, don't eat pumpkin, you could talk all day long about what the Nazarite vow really mean. And if it means this or that, it's all right, you know. As I said before, if a one gonna try to figure out all the pages of the Bible and try to live from that book, well, it's up to you. But it is the word of the Black Christ, the word of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards that we live by. Now, this is why I said it. There are many things about the order that a person may not understand. I know a good soul, you know. And in fact, it's more than a one soul I've heard with this, that they love the Bowish and the order, but they can't stop eating mango. They love the Bowish and the order, but they can't stop eating mango. And where is mango in the Nazarite vow? And of course, as I've said before, you know, I've heard the reasoning about the kernel and the husk. And you see, when you're in this, you understand it. You understand this thing properly. But what I'm saying here, family, again, man. When you sit and you study this man order, right? This is what faith is all about. Remember, I was speaking to you the other day about the white and the Kundalini. Oh no, it wasn't you, man. It was, well, those of you who listen to us on Radio Anu on the Tiger's Nest, pardon me, please forgive me, no offense to no one. But on the Tiger's Nest, we were speaking of the whole aspect of Kundalini yoga and the covering of white. And you cover your head. You hardly see people cover their head to do yoga. And the whole science of the covering of the head and the white is that the energy will not be released when it grows inside of you. And I was showing you the science with the turban and just how Rastafari women cover themselves, and the Rastafari man priesthood, Bobo Shanti, the covering with the turban, and just how the locks is wrapped as it relates to the darkness of the pineal gland and the production of melatonin. And then you have other aspects like just the Sabbath day and the science of the Sabbath day, and how that day that is called a Saturday, how it resonates with the earth and nature itself. Our ancestor, Dr. Leila Africa, spoke about that. He says that Saturday is the day when the right brain and the left brain are perfectly balanced. That's Dr. Leila Africa, where you have perfect yin and yang. Again, brother Dr. Leila Africa, who is a scientist within the field. He's not a Rasta. He definitely ain't no Adventist. I don't think he's no Sabbath keeper at all, but he's just showing you the heights of it. And what he also showed us is that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, for those who've read the book, page 76, the African Holistic Health, page 76. He speaks about Monday, Wednesday, and Friday being fasting days. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday being working days, which is how King Emmanuel order is set. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, fasting days. And then he goes as far as to say Saturday, perfect balance of the yin and yang, left brain, right brain portals open. King Emmanuel order again, just showing you how it's so aligned and intact with nature in all ways, in all fashions. You know, I speak about the altar movement when you turn to the left. I speak about just using the vertical hand and the science thereof. Even just the other day, speaking to an uncle, I was showing him the science of the double and the second in King Emmanuel order, meaning that, for example, with the red, black, and green and the red, gold, and green. Well, the red, gold, and green is the first flag, and the red, black, and green come after, of course. But if you notice, in our Congress, we rise the red, black, and green first. The service rise with the red, black, and green first, and then the red, gold, and green come after. That's the science of the second. The second always come first. It's a deep, deep vibes. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. If you don't check that, check the drums. The bass is the first sound. Boom. That's the first sound. The funde is the second sound. Boom, boom. 1, 2. Boom. If you understand how the music starts to play in the bubble shanty order, the funde starts to play first. Ba, ba. And then the bass come in. Boom. So the bass comes in second, but the bass is the first sound. But the bass comes in second, but the bass is the first sound. That's the big bang they talk about. The sound of creation. Boom. So again, just like the banners, the red, gold, and green is the first banner, but it rises second. If you study the altar well, those of you who are Baba Shanti, the first hymn is raised by the second priest. The first hymn is raised by the second priest. And they have other mystics in the art of the second coming first and all of that stuff. It's a high, high, high science. So I'm just showing you that these are things maybe the Black Christ wouldn't have told us like that. But not feeling that way. One shall come that can read the stars. So there are many things that is just hidden, but when you take your time and you unravel them, man, you see like, yeah, look the science in there. So you should, and the thing is, the point I'm making here is that even if you didn't understand none of that, but you understood that you're dealing with the Christ. You have already come to the conclusion and you have vowed with your mouth, yeah, this is the Melchizedek to follow. And we understand that the Melchizedek is a man that we sit and reason with, and he share his ideas and he accept our ideas too. You understand me? He's a real man. So his mission and his work must be continued. That is why he said, greater things than what I do, you shall do. Just think about that. Greater things than these shall you do. So when you scope the great works that he has done, what is there now for us? Greater works. This is why we sing the hymn where he says about the Sabbath day. Improve the day that God has blessed. Because some of us, we don't want to add on and move on and improve. No, leave it just how it is. Of course, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I totally agree. But there's steps now that has to be made and we can't be stagnant. But again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I'm wrapping all of this up. The reason why I highlighted that there's so many mystic things about the order that is, beneath the surface. Read between the lines, more than meets the eye. There's so much more to uncover. Sometimes, even though we don't understand, it's just better to obey. Now, the Nazarite vow again. It's not the Nazarite vow I follow you. It's not even the Mau Mau I follow. I follow King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards. Now, an African brother once told me, I was the one that brought up the Homawa tradition to him. You would have heard, listen to me, family, please. You would have heard me speak about the Homawa tradition. Now, what I'm going to say here, I haven't spoken about this too much. Maybe once or twice I mentioned it just for the point's sake. Not Homawa. No, we talk about Homawa. Homawa is a West African celebration. Many of you who are listening from Ghana and so, big audience in Ghana, you know of the Homawa. You understand? I've never celebrated it, so I'm not going to speak like I'm the expert of it. And the Homawa is like many, many different celebrations within it. No Homawa. So I brought up the Homawa to my brethren, and he was saying, man, them celebrations is not just in Ghana. All over West Africa, you have Homawa. Because you have to remember Ghana today, the Gold Coast, you know, the Africans speak the Gold Coast. These are just, you know, snips. In fact, the ancient Ghana was much, much more than the modern day Ghana. It was like West Africa, the kingdom of Ghana, and the kingdom of the Ashanti, and the kingdom of Bobo Ashanti, the kingdom of the Ashanti, who rose the King Emmanuel flag, by the way, the red, gold, and green with the black 5-point star. I got to keep that in mind. You know? Remember King Emmanuel flying the flag before Ghana. Keep that in mind. Ghana, kingdom of the Ashanti, Bobo Ashanti, and they rise the flag of the Bobo Ashanti. Maruk Bull, man, the Bayan, Bull Bayan, Shanti Diva, the Bobo tree. Real stuff, eh? Real. That's what I'm saying. The mystics and how they are unraveled. It's not me playing with words. It's the words coming alive. It's the man say, is King Emmanuel head words, the man that had all the words, you know. So I hear man saying, you know, so yeah, the words come to life. So I'm showing you here in the heights of it, that when you consider now this vibration, family, that the Homawa, the celebration, that is the celebration where they take the red clay and they put it on the doorpost. Not no blood of the sheep, no red clay, and they put it on the doorpost. And it's a time somewhere between July and August, I think. And it's and that's a very impressive time, July and August. Haile Selassie Marcus Garvey. And they say it's a very quiet time. It's a time where things get very quiet and, you know, not a drum is heard and so and so. Anyway, there are many, many celebrations surrounding this. We did a program about 4 years ago. It's on the YouTube. You just got to dig it up, where we highlighted so many celebrations around the Homawa and the Homawa connected to in West Africa. And while the brother was speaking to me, and he was telling me about all the different celebrations, and one celebration they do this, as you could see, the Homawa with the red thing on the post. It's the Passover in the Bible, when they took the goat and they beat the sheep, and they beat the doorpost with the red blood. And when Christ, or when God came over and he saw the doorpost and the lentils thereof beaten with the red blood, then he would spare the house. You get that? So in ancient West Africa, there's a tradition similar, where the red clay is used, and, you know, it's on the posts of the house and the doorpost, and it says the spirit will pass and be merciful. You understand? It's almost like a New Year vibration. Happy, happy New Year. Good. So within that tradition now, you could see that similarity. So while the brethren talking, the brethren said that we even have traditions that for the whole month and a half or 2, we don't eat no yam. Now, you know, yam is a big thing in West Africa. And then he jumped off, going somewhere, and says, hold on, take it time. Reverse. What you say? And then he explained this as a spiritual time, a time of cleansing. Now, yam is a food Bobo Shanti don't eat. Yam and things of the vine, sweet potato, them kind of things. A sweet potato is a yam. Sweet potato is not potato yet. And this is another thing, words. Sweet potato is not a potato. It's a yam. It's a sweet yam. I don't know who tell us it's a sweet potato, but it's a sweet yam. So sweet potato is yam. So no sweet potato, no yam, no vine food. Now, I found that interesting. And you see, my family, this is what I'm trying to say. We're not trying to pretend we know more than anybody. What I'm telling you, number one, what I'm showing you is that I am a follower of King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. You hear me? Straight up. With clear understanding. Nobody can tell me, oh, well, the Baba them doesn't eat fish when they eat fish. No. with clear understanding. The Honorable King Emmanuel said we're supposed to stop eat fish. Me like somebody to challenge me and tell me it's not so. Yeah. So now you can run that one with me. I wouldn't even explain because where my witness and my evidence coming from. But I've said it already. And I didn't mean to be too feisty or anything, but I'm just trying to show you. So you can't use them weak argument. Oh, Emmanuel eat fish and them say they eat fish. How can you eat? No. Everything have its reason and its timing. That for sure was a reason for a time. And the time passed. Whoever still eating fish, that is just up to them. But I'm telling you, the time gone. He says so. That we're supposed to stop eat fish. And the person that he said it to is still around. One of the last people to really tend to him. Not see him, tend to him. Leading respected priest in the order up to today, who I hope to interview to you. Who I hope to interview. I already sent out that word. Who I hope to interview during this Lenten period time. So I'm just saying, especially for the faithful. I know a lot of ones listening as, oh, me and that, I'm not punking. No, listen. I'm not trying to convince nobody nothing, I'm not telling nobody to change their life. This is a program almost for the faithful, and just that, a lot of people seen it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not a religious dude. I'm not a religious dude at all. But I know who is the person that brought the order that human beings supposed to live by to the earth. I'm positive of that. Because every animal have the order, from the penguin to the hummingbird to the beetle. All of them have the manuscript how to live. It's inside instinct. The ark is on their heart. Somehow we miss the story and we do anything anyway. So that is why all the prophecies from the hieroglyphs to the Bible, to the Quran, to the Rig Veda, to the stars in the heavens speak of the coming of God to return the order to us. So we study it properly and we come to the conclusion over and over and over and over and over and over again. That is the prophet, priest, and king. Give thanks to Marcus Garvey, who come and cut and clear. It's the prophet, priest, and king. Give thanks to the emperor that sit upon the throne. Is the prophet, priest, and king. Give thanks for the priest, King Emmanuel, again, that bring the order. And that's it, and we can prove that. So if he said, make sure you sleep with your head to the north and to the east, well, mean it's not wrong if me sleep for my head to the west. What's wrong with that? Mean it's not wrong with that, you see? Imagine that man that crown that talks to. Mean it's nothing wrong with that. You're not supposed to wear white over black. So what wrong if you wear white over black? Mean it's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't be in this order, Rasta. You should be doing something else. This ain't for those that want to do their own thing in a man. Well, Dr. Sabi say you can eat. Listen, I love Dr. Sabi. You're gonna try to put Dr. Sabi against me. But this is not Dr. Sabi order, Rasta. This is King Emmanuel order. This is a spiritual order. And I will return back now to the pumpkin and the cucumber and the whole shebang. Again, whether the Nazarite vow talking about them things or not, that ain't the problem. That don't mean a thing to me. It's King Emmanuel order I deal with. What come out of Emmanuel mouth is my Nazarite order. In the Nazarite vow, we say I have to chop off locks and bring 2 pigeons and so after a period of time. No, man. We're dealing with the Black Christ order. So that's why at the beginning of this, I know some people just coming in. That's why at the beginning of this, you should watch it all over again. That's why at the beginning of this, we clearly showed you that, hey, coming into Rastafari, you see enough one studying the Bible hardcore, trying to figure out what you do on this day and what you do on that day. Look, you say bring 2 pigeons, and look, you say ox. Look, you say every 7 years you have to give the land rest. Look, you say you have to build a house over here. All sorts of things. Look, you say you can have more than one wife. Look, you say this and that. Look, you say that if you have a daughter before a son, you're cursed. All kind of things people come up with it. because of the Bible and try to interpret it themselves. I'm not into that. God already give me the interpreter, not just of the Bible, but of life, of reality. And me, the Honorable Priest Isaac, can prove that to the world, undeniable. I don't think nobody can. I mean, I know some people, but when it comes to defending Haile Selassie, King Emmanuel order, yeah, man, I honestly believe I have it down packed. You can't just infiltrate with no Scooby-Doo vibes. Have that down packed. And to me, once you know this to your heart, it's, yeah, man, I'm a soldier of King Emmanuel, so I stand in line. Some people fall in line, I stand in line, and I'm obedient to what he said, to the best of my ability. So yeah, I claim the Nazarite, because they say the dreadlock start in Nazarite. I talking about in Jamaica, you know. They say the dreadlock thing start in Nazareth. And one other thing too, which is something I definitely want to highlight, is this. Do you know that there's a city in Ethiopia named Nazareth? Okay. Yes, you have Addis Ababa, Nazareth. You have Ambo people. Your great-grandfather's name is Ambo, you know. Yes. Speaking to my daughter. That's my grandfather, Ambo. Tall brother. They say he was taller than me, and if you know me, I'm quite tall. But anyway. So Nazareth, interesting. Now, this Nazareth today is called Adama. But before it was called Nazareth, it was called Adama. Interesting. How did that happen? Because the person that changed it from Adama to Nazareth, after he came off the scene, those that were not too pleased with him decided to change it back to Adama. But people still call it Nazareth today, more than Adama. Okay. Now, it was Haile Selassie that changed the name of Adama, which represented Adam, by the way. Yeah. He changed the name to Nazareth. Now, I found that very interesting, because we got to watch the emperor and see how the emperor moves. Now, Haile Selassie the First, yes, we know the king is of the Christian tradition, and we know the king, you know, definitely into the agency and the Solomonic lineage and all of this. So what the emperor himself did, remember now, we're talking about Ethiopia. We're talking about Nazareth. No, this is very mystic. Nazareth, you'd always hear of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Good. And the Jesus Christ of Nazareth specifically represents the dreadlocks man. Nazareth, Nazarene, Nazarite. Nazareth, Nazarene, Nazarite. Good. Now, I am saying that for what reason would Haile Selassie take a city, Adama, that has been named Adama for a long time, and change the name to Nazareth? What point was Haile Selassie making? Because remember, you know, we have a book called The True Biblical Land of Israel. Okay. And that book speaks about the reality of Africa plus Arabia being the true land of Israel, not Palestine. Africa plus Arabia is the true land of Israel. If you've never read the book, just visit our website. I'm sure you know how to get to our website. It's priestIsaacInstitute.com, priestIsaacInstitute.com. The link is in the description of this video. Just go down and press it, website, priestIsaacInstitute.com. And you go to the area called Shop and just scroll through and you'll see the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel. That was a theological paper that I wrote. Those of you who follow the works, you know we have presented thousands of challenges. Well, it's the one challenge to universities, colleges. You can go on and on. We don't really bother with that now. We revived it and just Nobody's taking up the challenge, really. But the challenge, again, is for anyone to dispute our theory that Africa plus Arabia is the true land of Israel and not little old Palestine. Good. So then that whole thing about Christ was born in a cave in Ethiopia, that is something to look into, because Ethiopia, you may be saying, but Christ was born in Bethlehem, not Ethiopia. But if Africa plus Arabia is the real Israel and not Palestine, that means Bethlehem is not necessarily where they say Bethlehem is. So it's not that Christ wasn't born in Bethlehem, but the place they call Bethlehem today is not the Bethlehem where Christ was born. Those older than that says Christ was born in a cave in Ethiopia. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Jesus Christ of where? Of Nazareth. Haile Selassie I was the one that changed the name to Nazareth. You know? Why would the king do that? He was the one that said, hey, call this place Nazareth. Did Haile Selassie know something about the history of that place that we may not know? Is that the real Nazareth where the Christ grew up? Jesus Christ of Nazareth? Because the story they give us and the geography they give us about Palestine and the Levant is false. We have proven that. Anybody up for the challenge? I'm still here. So obviously, I think we have, especially when you use the biblical geographic description, we are positive that Africa plus Arabia is the land of Israel described of in the Bible. The Jerusalem area is the Kemetic area. The Bethlehem area is this Cushite Ethiopic area that we see here. Not exactly the direct boundaries of today, obviously, but the area. This is serious, family. So I find it quite interesting that the emperor would take a city, a very famous city too, Adama, named after Adam, and change the name to the biblical city of Nazareth, the city of the dreadlocks, the city of the Christ, the Jesus Christ of Nazareth. So from the king's action to me, come below, me, I see the whole science of the Nazarite being relevant just from that move alone. But you see, it is for us to read between the lines. And I would say to my Rastafari family, the Locks tradition older than the Nazarite vow. It's older than, it's the creation. It's older than Israel. It's the creation. It's older than even the Batawi. It's creation. It's older than the Mau Mau. It's creation. These are just different aspects of it and how one's approach it. The warrior class, Mau Mau, cutting and clearing. The priestly Batawi of the Ethiopia, the Israelites, the Levites, and all others that took that vow unto the Lord to separate for a moment of time, even if they shaved after and bring the turtle dove, you understand. But that none of these things or none of these orders are the origin of the Locks. The Locks is creation. With the eating part of the food now, again, you'd hear many people say different things. Vine food run your spirit and hold you down. Like you see, the vine would grow like if you have, I guess, melon around corn. You definitely would see the melons grab the corn and pull it down eventually after a period of time. That is something that will definitely happen. So ones would equate that to what it would do. Now, hey, listen, there's so much things I've said already for the night. You got to keep in mind, I already highlighted the bitter melon, right? Because this King Emmanuel is a man that deals with things on high level of understanding, high level of understanding. And just reality too, whatever little vine food a person don't eat Because remember, this is not, again, I'm going to repeat, we're not saying there's anything deficient of the food nutritionally. No. But whatever special qualities these food that you don't have, as Boba Shanti, these food that you don't eat have, trust me, you can find them same qualities in so much other foods. Enough other foods. They have a heap of food that a whole heap of people never eat it. They have enough food that people never eat. Some people never eat what food there that the man they go for there. Dragon fruit. Some people never eat the chocolate fruit. Some people never eat mommy support. Some people never eat a sour sap. You understand? Some people never eat a June plum, a golden apple, a sugar apple. Some people never tear off a cane and chew up the sugar cane. So there's enough food out there. Some people never eat kelp. How often you drink your sea moss? I mean, King Emmanuel order is for spiritual growth. So when King Emmanuel said, don't eat pumpkin, don't eat cucumber, don't cook garlic and don't cook the onion. Yeah. We don't cook with garlic and onion. Yeah, cook, I say cook. I like put it on the fire. Yeah, why? Read the book of the ninja, the ninjutsu. Yeah, when I was going through that, there's a specific part that says, as a ninja, you're not supposed to use garlic and onion. I said, wow, look at this. As a ninja. You're not supposed to use garlic and onion. And I know somebody might say, so which part in the Bible you find that? This is the upper levels, eh? The tiger's nest, we call this, we passed them stages. The ninjutsu book, the art of becoming a ninja. And, to be honest, that might be more for, them things carry a high smell. And as a ninja, you have to move through, but it might be more than that. And I'm just giving you these little nuggets to show you that King Emmanuel are very scientific. And if that's why we hail him, because we don't understand everything that he brings. But we understand that he is the man with the understanding. We comprehend and understand all of that. You see what I'm saying, young princess? So that is the delight in following it. The mango too. Me personally, I ain't bought no mango for since I come Baba Shanti, I eat no mango. Around here, people think you're crazy not to eat mango. Do you drink Spanish needle the bush? What name's up? Okay. No, I don't think they're crazy. I don't think they're crazy for not drinking Spanish needle. But they think you mad for not eating mango. I tell you, I know people that say they love the bubble thing, but they can't eat mango. Maybe that's the test of the mango. I don't know. Then you have people tell you it's lust food. As I said, people say the pumpkin and the other stuff pull down your vibes and make you pull down people and all kind of things. I can't say. I really don't know about all of that. I really can't tell you. Some people say, no, food can't make you act away. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. No. That food that can wake you up, that food that can put you to sleep, that food that can make you aroused differently. In fact, they say that about the mango. That's one of the early teachings I got about the mango. It's a lust food. That it arouses you and all them things. I don't know. I think all them things is controlled. Because a lot of food do that, eh? Look, I just talk about sea moss. Sea moss is a builder. Them kind of food, you have to have strong mentality and so on. Yeah. But again, hey, that's why we commit to the order to follow and obey the man. I surely ain't missing nothing with no mango. You see around here when you hear mango, right? It's mango, eh? Mango is not a thing like an apple. You eat an apple and you put it and you're done. Mango is a bowl of mango. People eat buckets of mango, parts of mango, and they sit down and eat that all day long. Till when the belch is bang, you see the mango coming back out. Yeah. But again, I could tell you that when people have diabetes, mango is like fruit number one that the doctor say ease off of, at least around here. But eat off of the mangoes, maybe because mango is big in the culture. But when you have diabetes, the doctor will literally tell you ease off of mango. And I think something else. I think it's pineapple, you know. And the pineapple that grows here is quite sweet too. So I guess that's why, I don't know, I'm not a doctor in that realms there. But that's how they do. I'm not a doctor at all. We don't doctor nothing up. You know what I'm saying. But listen, this little journey I was carrying you through, family, is not to try to prove nothing to nobody, or try to make you stop doing anything, or follow what I do. You know, I'm not into that. In fact, I not into that at all. But I think even more for those who have accepted this faith. If you accept. And accept the man, learn of the man. We ourselves here, we will do our utmost best to bring you the right, the correct, and genuine information as much as we can. You know, this is not for no self gain, glory, none of them foolishness, family. Trust me, I'm a tiger, you know. Tigers prefer to be alone. Tigers like solitary cats. But you see, I know my responsibility. So it's my responsibility to share this information. When young ones would email you and bless you and give you a long email, and all what you see me answer here tonight is straight from the email, you know. The concerns, you know, especially from young ones, because I understand what that it feels like to have questions and not maybe getting the right answer. There's a scripture there. I'm a bit rusty on exactly what chapter and verse, but it's about Elisha, who is the one that came after Elijah. And Elisha, him and his soldiers, they were in the forest and they were getting things to eat. So they were cooking a pot and they went into the forest to get some food. And one of the persons picked some gourds. You know, gourds there's some vine that you see run like on trees and maybe on the wire for the electricity. And they got some gourds and put it in the pot. And when they realized that the fella threw the vine food in the pot, this is in the Bible, they went to Elisha and said, Master, there is death in the pot. Right there in the Bible. There is death. It's not an animal trained there, you know. Vine food. Elijah, and they tell Elisha there is death in the pot. And the scripture say Elijah came. I don't know what he did, one of them magic trick and do what he do. Miracle vibes. And removed the death from the pot. So the vine food was referred to, and it wasn't grapes. It wasn't grapes, family. It was gourd. I think it's spelled Gourd. People eat it. You may not eat it in your culture. It's the same as the pumpkin, the melon, the cucumber. They're similar. That's why outside, if you look at a melon, although it's sweet, and a pumpkin, not the orange pumpkin, you could see the same similar kind of design depending on the type of melon and the type of pumpkin. You know? The gourd is the same way. Zucchini, the butternut squash and that other, what do you call it? The cucumber. The cucumber and the gourd are somewhat similar in their look. And they refer to it as death, D-E-A-T-H. So these little things you look into, especially those of us as Bobo Shanti, you know, what I would encourage, you definitely step up on your nutritional game. I mean, not eating pumpkin and not eating cucumber can't stop you. What is that? It's years, man, on them things. Gladly too. Gladly, because I am obedient to King Emmanuel. If a person don't understand why, that is them. I give thanks for his order. You understand? But yeah, live on your grains, live on your quinoa, live on your millet, live on your teff. If you're batting rice, get the black rice, man, because that is not even considered rice in that world when you do the study. I can't remember exactly what they refer to it as. It's a different level of a grade. You know what I mean? Of course, your green vegetable, leafy vegetables, your green juice, but your green juice regularly. To me, that's the real thing. You're coming off a fast, you get your warm sip, make sure you hydrate with your green juice. It's a must. Yeah, man, your callaloo, which is your spinach. No chop up, put the cook down business. You take your callaloo and blend that with your Spanish needle and your soursop leaf and your parsley and your celery, blend that 5 or 7 or 3 bush or 9. Throw some ganja in that too, and you know what I mean. If you're a man, throwing your African violet, blend them up. Your moringa, blend them up and drink that daily. You understand? Yeah. Pumpkin seed, very good for, you know, the prostate and all of these things. Yeah. Sarsaparilla too. Yeah. The noni root too. Yeah. Your cola nut too. Yeah. What the Jamaican call us? Busy. All of that too. Good for your prostate. Eh? The same African violet I mentioned too. You know. Yeah. So I'm just showing those of you, because remember, you know, the art King Emmanuel gave us is for a spiritual reason. That's why you take up his order, he give you the manual and certain instructions. So if a man feel he wants to sleep with his head to the west and to the south, it's just up to him. Nobody tying him down or nothing. But if you love me, keep my commandments. But when you pass things through a window, you're not supposed to sweep at night, you know, until after midnight. Listen, there's so many different things. You know, understanding, praise God, you know, I'm not telling you if your floor super dirty, you know, brush it up, you know. But for you to just grab the broom and say, I ain't gonna sweep because me not see nothing wrong with. Nah, that's a disobedient child. That's a disobedient child. You understand? Make up your mind what you're into, man. Make up your mind if you're with the Father or you're not with the Father. You understand? Yeah, make up your mind is very important, especially if those around you with the Father too, okay, you're gonna be struggling people straight up. That's why we have to make up our mind if we eat it with it or with it not. So yeah, man, I give thanks for such a moment, you know, family. Because as I said, it's the new year. What is this new year thing again now? It is a new beginning. It's a new cycle. You know, this is the moment where ones must be confident in themselves. There's so many things. All of what we're speaking of tonight, that's good, good stuff. But the real thing now is organize and centralize. You know, I'm hoping to do a program with the very same Priest Dougie, Honorable Priest Dougie, and Honorable Bingy Flacco. I want to talk about Rastafari unity. You know, yeah, Rastafari unity. Of course, theology and so is good talking, but works. You know, the Rastafari unity. Me and the educational aspect of it, I think definitely I am doing the works as far as that. And I mean, maybe it's not agriculture, maybe it's not whatever the other industry is, health, but I definitely on the educational tip. For sure, it's not just talk. Priest Isaac's Institute, you can visit our website. We have homeschool programs that we send out every day, and educational programs, the like of even this. Of course, right now we are still allocating for assistance for the international and the national essay competition. Family, how many of you have emailed me and said, Priest Isaac, I would like to get a copy of the letter and the budget for the essay competition that you are doing. This is the 9th year you're doing it without assistance. I would like to help you. You don't even have to say all of that. How many of you, especially those in the chat now, I would like, and those who are going to comment, I would like to know how many of you have already emailed me, at least just to look on the letter and to look on the budget, even if you don't contribute. I'm very serious, man. You see, this is what I'm saying. We can't just be talking this talk. This is not a YouTube thing. This is not a Facebook thing. A lot of us, we're more into YouTube and Facebook than the reality of this thing. Somehow we just into technology and we just, you know what I mean, we like to be comforted by looking in these screens and listening to conversations and debates and all of that. That is why I decided to focus more on the young minds. Yeah, honestly, I've taken off the focus off of the older people, straight up. If you check it out, you would see that. If you check it, you would see that. You know, because sometimes you teach the older ones and they don't even go back and teach the younger ones. We actually have that problem amongst ourselves. The things that we know, the things that we hold on to, for one reason or the other, we're not passing it on to those that we love, younger ones. And you can see that even the way we eat. Some of us, we eat healthy and we give the children cornflakes. And then we will say, with milk too. Why you give them that? Oh, that's what he wants to eat. That's what he wants. And you're eating some high brand Ezekiel bread or whatever. And you're giving him, you know, bacon and eggs. Oh, that's what he loves. He loves cotton candy. I try to stop him. How old is he again? Oh, he'll be 5 next month. I try to stop him. He does his own thing. It's the same thing with the knowledge. You know, we watch all the biggest debates, get all the stuff, know all the great stuff. Oh yeah, this knowledge here, we got this. Yeah, yeah. And the Lord said. But how many of us take the time to put it back into the young ones, into the young minds? So we are going straight for the young minds. Even those of you with children, family, you hear us speak about the International Homeschool Program. This is a very inexpensive program. The biology, very inexpensive. I you know, actually can't tell you the price off my head, but it's like 100 and something for the whole course. Can't tell you it off my head, honestly. Honestly, especially if you've been a part of the other courses, the astronomy and the African heritage. And these courses, for those who don't know, have been designed for the young mind. So in other words, from K to 3rd grade, but still, even if you are 50, 60, or 70, and you need to brush up on your astronomy, contact me, man, and get the astronomy course. You don't have to feel bad when you hear me come on and say, blessed love, everyone. This is Uncle Priest Isaac. It wasn't really made for you. It was made for the young minds. But the knowledge is made for you. You'd be surprised, family, the sort of information that your little ones would be able to retain, the way that we have designed the courses, how we bring it to them, you know, how we review and everything. I mean, you can contact me and ask for a free, you know, a free preview of any of the courses, whether it's the biology, whether it's the astronomy and the African history heritage, whichever one, so that your young minds, this is not, this is a supplementary course. It is not to replace whatever system your child is in, you know. At this stage, we are offering supplementary courses. We ourselves are growing, we are evolving, you know, it's a growth. We're not that yet, but we have supplementary courses, and everything that you see us offer is offered by certified people in the field. So that is something that you could definitely feel comfortable about. And that's another thing, you know. So we have to get certification just so people can say, oh, well, he has been certified by X, Y, and Z. But anyway, it's all right. That's a part of the game. So family, you should definitely enroll your young ones. This is them. Biology, we're teaching them about the atom. We're teaching them about the states of matter. We're teaching them about the urinary system. We're teaching them about the nervous system. And trust me, when the class is done, they already know it, and then they come again, we review. At the end of the day, you personally will be, very happy of the leaps and bounds that the young ones would have taken. So again, that is why we are doing the essay competition now. That's a next level altogether. For those who do not know about that, well, we had the official launch, which if you go a few videos back, you could see that official launch where we give you details. I can't go into that now, but every year we do an essay competition where we offer gifts for the young ones here in Antigua. This is the first year we're doing it internationally. And of course, this is where we advocate for you and those of like mind who really love the work that we're doing to assist us in allocating prizes for the young minds. We are already in February. We are looking to officially launch the essay aspect of it, the writing aspect, where we say go, and then they start to write their essay and they bring it in within 2 weeks. I could honestly tell you, we have not allocated the type of prizes that we would have wanted thus far. Thus far we have 2 tablets, and whatever we have, we will work with it. But what I'm saying is that those of us, again, who say that we're so conscious, remember, this is not something for us this is not no money-making thing. This is not something we profit from. What you're seeing on the screen here, the spring equinox upcoming, we profit from that. You see, I can clearly tell you what's going on. I ain't lying to you. We profit not from the essay competition. Every year, we always go into our coffers and make sure the essay competition come off properly. This is the 9th year that we are doing this, and it's about sparking the mentality of the young ones so that they themselves specifically would have an interest in their Afrocentricity. It's a start. It's a place to begin. You've heard me speak about this from time to time. So I think anyone who is really serious about this consciousness should at least contribute something to the efforts for the essay competition. Something, family. You already heard the budget. And again, just email me and ask me for the letter and the budget. To be honest, it's not enough people have done that. It shows a lack of interest in the next generation. We just doing this for fun. I'm not going to come and talk to people who are not interested in the next generation. Trust me. So y'all interested in the youths or not? Because if you're not interested in the youths, I ain't interested in you. Are you interested in the youths or not? Your brother has a well-oiled machinery called the essay competition. This is the 9th year I'm doing it. It has always been successful. There's nobody that can say, hey, I want a prize and haven't got it. We give out laptops, tablets, digital cameras every year without fail. There's not a year that has gone and we haven't given out at least 2 laptops. Follow me, good family. And there's not a year that we have not had to go into our own money to make sure that it has gone out successfully. This is not a money-making affair. And you mean to say, with all due respect, that you seeing that and say that you're so conscious and believe so much in the next generation, and you would not even take a step to contribute to that mission? We're not asking for nothing for us. We don't need nothing from nobody. But let's think about the next generation to spark their consciousness. And you see right here in Antigua, to be honest, what I'm saying goes here first. This is where it starts first, because this is where it was planted and this is where it grew up and this is where it flourishes. And even before I started this essay competition, so that means it's more than 9 years ago, we have been advocating to the Ministry of Education to put African history in the school curriculum. In fact, it is because that was not done why we started this essay competition extracurricular activity. Something that every year up to this year we would have written to the Ministry of Education and the governing body the parliament, the cabinet, asking them to make our essay competition a part of the financial budget for the educational year. Every year we do that, every year. So in a sense, I should not be saying, well, you know, those of you who have like minds assist in this. No, because just the nation where we are in, their budget should, you know, should cover all of that. What's our budget? Some little bit of money there. I can't even remember. A little bit. I don't think it's $3,000. The budget is not $3,000. But anyway, just email me, family, and ask me to see the letter and the budget, and let me send it to you, and at least read it. At least read it so you understand the reason why we do this essay competition. The young minds need to be sparked, my family. We need to spark the minds of the young ones. That's why we have the homeschool program. You have children, I know you're doing a good job. Get them on the homeschool program, family. Get them on the homeschool program. Afrocentric homeschool program, African heritage, when they come out of that, sure, what a love they will have for their motherland. The astronomy program, the biology program. Give thanks to the new year. And of course, you know, we just pray and ask the Mosiah guide and protect us as we go through cutting and clearing. More prosperity, more success, and more growth. Yes, in the house of King Emmanuel. And we give thanks for all royal sons and daughters who are celebrating this, a brand new cycle. It's actually 2023 King Emmanuel calendar. That's another reason all by itself. And family, as I said, I'm looking forward for us sitting in on the Lenten reasoning. I'm already looking into the royal ones that will be sitting with me, so we could have some upful and productive discussions and reasoning as it relates to the Lenten period. Well, give thanks, you know, I must say I spent much more time on this one with you tonight than I had planned, but it's always a joy, family, believe me, when we sit and sup and do what is right in the sight of the Black Christ. So again, a blessed new year going forward, all prosperity, all growth. Of course, you know, I will encourage you to go to that link below this video in the description and join us on Radio Anu. Yes, of course, you know, the tiger's nest, you know, giving you enough information and vibration and just carrying you through the evening. So that's what you should do now, because we are right there, Radio Anu, just going through and through with more vibration for each and every one. Just go below and link it up. It's priestisaacinstitute.com. So give thanks, and I hope to see you in March for our spring equinox. There's enough things we're doing here at the Institute. Enough things. Give thanks. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari. Join us on Radio Anu. Blessed love.